Hello everyone and welcome to my video podcast about crafting and island life on Gotland. My name is Jessika and you can find me on Instagram as Jessikaolivia skapar and on Ravelry as Jessikaolivia. Thank you for all the response I got on my last episode. The last episode was my first episode recording in English, and thank you for all the sweet comments, and yeah, thank you so much for being here and supporting me. So now it's time for a new podcast episode. The last month, September, have been a hectic month for me, and today is the 1st of October. And it will take me a while to edit this video so it can be out for you. But in the beginning of September, I was sick for several weeks, and usually I'm happy to be a very healthy person, but this time around, usually in the beginning of August, September, I got a cold or something. But this time it was a little bit harder for me. I need to rest a lot, and I was in bed for several days. I couldn't knit for like 10 days or so. So I think that September have been too short for me because it's a lovely month. I like September. October is the most wonderful time of the year, I think. But I lost some bits of my favorite season, and I'm feeling a bit sad about that. But I have been doing a lot of things that I'm gonna show today, and but a lot of knitting time have been time for other crafts that I'm gonna show, because me and my colleague, we have been for a pottery course. So it have been like 2 weekends here in September that we have been away for a pottery course. So I'm gonna show what we were doing on that course. But let's start with knitting things, and then we go over to other crafts, acquisitions, and garden updates. So let's jump in. On me today, I have my field day cardigan by Osetta that I showed you last time, and this was my finished project for last time, and it had become my absolutely favorite cardigan. It's so perfect right now because it's a DK weight, so it's a perfect, a little bit thinner cardigan for this fall season or intermediate season between summer and winter. So I've been wearing it a lot, so almost every day I've been wearing it. So I'm in love of this piece. It's so wearable for all things. Even I have been wearing it with trousers, and I've been wearing it with dresses and everything. So it's super perfect. If you want to know more about the cardigan, you can look at the previous episode. Then I'm talking more about the yarn and everything like that. But what have I been knitting on since last time? Yes, I showed you that I had started on I showed you that I have been starting on a Wayfarer raglan, a design by Ulven, and I'm knitting in Nutiden in colorway Omge and one strand of mohair. And as you can see, I have been doing the whole body, so a lot of stockinette, see, and now is the only thing left is the sleeves. So I have 2 sleeves to go, and then I have a perfect sweater. And I think I'm gonna wear this a ton because it's such a neutral color, but it's a very interesting color. Maybe it's hard to see in photos and in camera, but this Nutiden color is dark wool, like nature black, with very strong colored, like almost neon-y cobalt blue shade in it. Maybe it's hard to see when it's so dark as well, and mohair is very like midnight blue, very dark navy blue, and it also have a little bit halo of purple actually. Purple is not my color, but it's only have like a little bit of halo of it, so I think it goes very well. So I'm finished with the whole body, and now on to the sleeves. So this is my Wayfarer raglan number 2. In this cute little basket I have my next knitting project. This is a very adorable little basket that I actually got from my friend. My friend named Victoria, and she is Fröken Viol on Instagram. And she got this little present for me. And if I'm showing the basket first, then I think it's originally made for like a knitter or a crochet basket, because it also have like a lining, and you can close it like this and wear it with the handles and everything. It's super cute and pretty small, so you can bring a small project with you, or as I did, I just opening it up and putting it down and putting the things inside. But in the cute little basket, and thank you again Victoria for this adorable present. You really know me, that you know that this comes very handy in my life. Thank you again Victoria. This project I talked about last time that I wanted to cast on. So this is the body of the diamond twill vest, and it's actually like a it's like a slipover that is designed by Nina Pommerenke. So this is the body. So now I'm gonna knit the front and back pieces, and then it's sewn together in the shoulders, I guess. This design have a very nice like diamond shape, like diamond squares, that is with knits and pearls, so it's very easy to see where you are in the pattern, and it looks quite complicated, but it's not. And I'm knitting in Nutiden, a Nutiden yarn from Höner in this colorway that is called Rågad. It's a light grain color, like light beige grain color. So I guess half of it is already done. Another knitting project that I'm working on is this mess. So maybe I'm gonna show you like this. So this project I also talked about last time. So this is the beginning of the storm sweater designed by Petite knit. So I have been knitting the back part and down to the armholes, and then I have been picking up and knitted the right and the left shoulder, and then I have put them together for the neck hole, like the neck shaping for the neck, for the ribbing in the neck. And now I'm gonna knit on the front piece down to under the armhole, and then it's in the round, and then you picking up and knit the neck collar, and then you picking up around the armholes to knit the arms. Yeah, a lot of picking up stitches, but I think it's a nice construction. It's like a drop shoulder construction, and it's one of Petite Knit's newest designs that she have. It is only knits and pearls, as well as the diamond twill vest. As the diamond twill vest, it's only knits and pearls, combined in different textures and patterns. And this yarn that I'm working in it, I can see in this light, maybe you cannot see it, but it have a pretty nice halo, and it's oh, it's so soft, this yarn. The yarn I brought on a cone, so this is a 1 kilogram cone that I brought on a Danish from a Danish company that they are collecting like dead stock yarns. So yarns that have been over from other productions, like cloth productions. I don't know from where, but yarn that have been over from factories, and they are sold on cones. This particular one is called, yeah, I'm reading inside here, is called Trend Angora, Merino Angora. So this blend is 50% Merino, 30% viscose and 20% Angora. And these three fibers combined is very luxurious feel to it, and feels very nice to the touch, and it doesn't feel itchy at all. The colorway is called Halm, and I have this very nice light beige color. It feels like I'm very beige and brown right now, as you can see with this as well, but it's very nice color, and I think it will be good for me as well. But I will not knit up a whole cone for this, so I'm thinking about maybe I can use this yarn for natural dyeing. Maybe I can dye it in another color, or yeah, to see what it will be. And I'm knitting it with 2 strands together, because one strand is a light fingering, and when you feel the thread, it is like, is it 2 ply or 3 ply? Yes, it's 3 ply yarn, and it's have no bounce at all. It's not stretchy at all. It's quite easy to tear apart as well. But together with 2 strands and knitted up, it feels completely different. And I even did a swatch. Was washing the swatch, and it feels so nice after washing, and it's super squishy and bouncy when it's knitting up. But as a yarn, as itself, it doesn't feel so nice to the touch. But knitted up is perfect, and I have knitted this in 1 week, so it's going very fast, and I'm looking forward to continue with this. These socks I'm knitting from the recipe of Kura socks that you can find on Miss Evil's blog, and it's like a recipe that is shown in videos. So it's not like a pattern, it's more like a recipe, and then you can adjust the recipe to your fits or to the person that you're knitting for, and you can choose whatever yarn you want to. I needed a pair of very thick socks for sleeping in, so I have pretty cold fits and I need to have some thick socks when I'm sleeping. So then I wanted to use Nutiden yarn, so I have balled up. This is actually 3 strands of Nutiden together. 2 greens that is pretty close in color, one that is called, I guess it's called Hearts on a String, a quite old colorway that is very thin. So I'm also holding it together with an alpaca silk yarn as well. So it becomes very thick and sturdy, and these socks perfectly for sleeping in. So I'm not gonna wear them around the house, just laying in bed with them. So I hope the durability is gonna be good even if it's without nylon. But I'm knitting on a quite tight gauge to get it pretty compact, like durable, higher the durability, but also make them as warm as possible. But I really like how the color turned out. Very nice color combination, I think. These sage green tones together. So I have been creating the gusset and the heel flap and everything. So now it's just in the round, and I'm thinking about knitting until these small balls are done, so I don't get any leftovers. Yes, so that's the last thing I'm knitting on right now. I have also been natural dyeing some yarns. Last year I was collecting some walnut husks and dry them, and now is the time to do some natural dyeing with the husks. So I have been pre-treated some yarns. I had some phenol yarn from Rama, and I also had some Merino superwash sport yarn that I wanted to dye on. So I pre-treated them, and then I made a bath of water and those walnut husks, and this is how it turned out. So this is the phenol that is dyed with the walnut husks. So I think it turned out like a hazelnut brown color, or warm chocolate brown very nice, I think. I like browns, and so, but medium brown, I guess. And the other yarns that I had, and this is a Merino superwash yarn, and wow, this color is a very dark chocolatey brown, and so it's the same dye bath. They were dyed together in the same bath, but what a difference in the color. And this was white from the beginning, and this was also white from the beginning, undyed from the beginning. But this turned out like very dark chocolatey brown. And this is 100 gram, and this is 100 gram as well. Then I wanted to dye some more yarns, so I had this is a 100 gram skein of Rama Finul as well, and this time I was natural dyeing with marigolds and cosmos in the color orange and yellow. So, and all the colors I have collected from my garden. So this is the Rama Finul one, and it was a light gray from the beginning, so it was not white, it was light gray. So it turns out pretty bright yellow, but I think it's a little bit mustardy, more mustardy than neony, but very nice color, I think. And I also dyed up 2 skeins of the superwash merino, and this one turned out like olive green instead, with the same dye bath. So this is how it looks with the marigolds and cosmos and the walnut husks, but I think it's very lovely colors. I didn't know what I could expect from this dye experiment, but now I want to even dye more yarns, and maybe I can find some contrast colors so I can be knitting with this precious yarn as well. I have also been doing some natural dyeing on fabrics. I'm using the technique eco printing, and you can see the backdrop I have here is a eco printed fabric. It's a thin linen fabric that I have been printing some leaves and flowers from the garden. This is a smaller piece, so this is just the raw fabric that I have been dyeing. So I'm saving these fabrics for later to make some nice things out of them. But this is also a thin, very thin linen fabric that have been dyed with coreopsis flowers, both orange and white ones. And also the stems are getting that nice rusty color. And this is with a natural colored background. So a little sample of this. This is a cotton piece that I dyed, and this I used a background color. Now I don't remember what background color it was, but it's also natural dyed background color. And then we have some different leaves. I think this is the leaves. Here is from hollyhock leaves, and the leaves that is more in the middle here is from raspberries, and then we have some marigolds and cosmo flowers. And I think this turned out very nice with this dark brown background, and it's green and rusty tones and actually a little bit of turquoise or bluish tones as well. So I really like this little piece. Then I have another one, and this is on the same type of cotton fabric as the previous one, but this one is with another background color, a lighter one. So this background color is actually the afterbath of the walnut husks. So it becomes very, very light beige, but I think it turned out pretty nice with the cosmos flowers and the other leaves, but it turned out more pale, but I like the outcome here as well. So this piece is perfectly for a pillow cover or doing some smaller things, sewing some small things with this. And the last fabric that I want to show you is this thinner cotton fabric that is also the background color is also from the walnut husks, and then some leaves. This is also a bunch of flowers and leaves. I think this turned out pretty nice as well. Usually I'm doing this natural dyeing during the summertime because then is where we have all the material to gather from nature. So now it's starting of October, so I'm thinking of making 1 or 2 more eco printing days more of this this year, and then I will collect all the fabrics and start doing some things out of them, because now I have the fabric, but then I want to do some sewing or make some products from them. So that's what I'm basically doing. I'm doing things out of the season. So during the summer it's a lot of sewing and eco printing and natural dyeing, and now in the autumn it's more about knitting and spinning yarn, everything like that. So I have not been spinning any yarn like since last time, so now when I'm done with the eco printing I want to start to spin some yarn again actually. Now I want to show you what I've been making in the pottery course. So this is the bouquet of flowers that I have with me today, and this is all dahlia flowers that I'm growing in my garden. I was talking a little bit about them last time, but this is a nice autumn bouquet. I made this one little vase on the pottery course that I have been going to in September, and I think if you can see, yeah, maybe you can see a little bit here, that I was sculpturing this by hand, and then I was making this little straw motif and painting it with dark green and the transparent glaze on top. I'm very pleased with it actually. It's a long way from perfect, but I wanted to have this little bit rough texture and rough look to it. I made some other things on the course as well, and this little thing, I guess it should be like a little vase that I made, and I painted it with some black and this light brownish. And then I have this little thing, maybe you can use it for a little bit milk, maybe a little thingy here, so you can have some liquid inside. And the glaze of this one is from ashes, so from wood ashes they made this very nice glaze. And inside is another one. I think it's turned out very cute. Probably the thing that I'm most proud of is this little cutting board, like maybe for some cheese or for some tapas or something. I made this clay sheet, and then I was rolling in this kind of flour into it, so it leaves this very nice shape inside. So I think this is maybe my favorite. This might be hard to show, but I also made some ceramic bottoms. And so this is pretty big ceramic bottoms that I was painting in a green color, and then is the motif of a leaf, and all of them are different, but I made some that was like kind of the same, and a little smaller ones. There's also with the motif of the leaves, but they are brown, and I have like 10 of each. And this one's the glaze is from iron rust. So it's iron rust on this one. So I think it could be very nice actually on that garment. I think. And I don't like so much these bottoms that I have on this one. So maybe I should change them to some of this. Maybe this one. I think that will look very nice, don't you think? I'm very happy for this pottery course. If you're interested of the teacher is Anna Harström, and she is based here on Gotland and in Stockholm. She's doing a lot of art, big statues and sculptures in clay, very nice. And I hope to be able to continue with the pottery, because I think clay is a fantastic material to work with, and I have a lot of ideas in my head of what I want to do. This was just a little introduction course, so we didn't have so much time to actually working on the things, and it was like a time limit on how much help you can get from the teacher as well. So, but I'm super happy with what I could come up with, and yeah, follow me to see the progress in the making of things in clay. Yesterday I went for a walk in the forest with my sambo and one of the cats, and we were collecting some treasures. We were collecting some treasures from nature that we brought back home, and I made a wreath of these things we brought, and it's autumn inspired wreath that is now hanging on our front door. And I used some dried flowers, dried things that's gonna hold up nicely, I think, I hope. And yeah, some things that I found in the forest and in the garden. So I think it's very lovely to do small things with. It's actually like waste things. It's like, for someone it could be like garbage, but when you're putting them together and in this arrangement, it looks like treasures, I think, and it looks very nice. And lastly, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the gardening things and so on. So now we are preparing in the gardens for some new berry bushes that we're gonna plant, and we're gonna rearrange the strawberries, the strawberry field. So we're gonna take away all the strawberry bushes and planting new plants. So you're taking the old plants, giving small new plants. So you're taking those small plants and planting them instead. So we're gonna have some nice strawberries next year, and then yeah, preparing for the winter. And that's including that's also including to take care of vegetables and things, vegetables and fruits and everything to collect for the winter. So we have not so much apples this year, but we have a lot of pears, but some apples, and we usually make some what do you call it? In Swedish we call it must. It's like juice, like apple juice, that you can go to a place with your apples, and then it's a specific machine that is first cleaning the apples and then pressing the apples together, so, and separating the liquid from the fruit meat, and then it's heating up the juice, so a lot of bacteria are dying, and then you get your juice, apple juice, or you can also make a blend of apple and pear, or only pear juice, and you get them in very handy like bagging boxes, and those bagging boxes with the juice last for a year. So it's a very nice way to save the apple and pear juice for a very long time. You have to store them pretty cold. We use a refrigerator, but yes, that is very nice to drink with meals and things like that. And for the apples, I also made some dried apple rings. So we have this oven that is like a dehydrator that you can, it's used with electricity. So it's like a lot of shelves or like trays that you can put mushrooms or vegetables or fruits and dry them in there. So it's a very nice way to prepare and process things for winter, instead of putting so much in the freezer. So here I have a jar with those apple rings that I have like a mandolin that I'm making the apples very thin, so I'm leaving the peel on, just taking away the seeds inside, and then after 1 hour or so in the dehydrator it becomes like this, very dry. and they last a very long time. They last more than a year like this with no problem. And then I also have been drying a lot of tomatoes. So this is a special type of tomato that is used to be used for drying tomatoes, like those sun-dried tomatoes that you buy in the store. So you halvating, making like half of the tomatoes or slices, and then you put salt on them, and then you dehydrate. So the salt is taking out the water of the tomatoes and keep them fresh for more than a year as well. So here I have a big jar of those dried tomatoes that is very nice to have when cooking. And I'm also gonna show you some chilies that I have harvested yesterday. So this is like 25 of these small chilies that I'm gonna turn into like a chili sauce today. So we are harvesting a lot of things in the greenhouse right now and in the lands. We're picking up potatoes from the soil, and I'm collecting a lot of flowers to dry, and yes, it's a very nice time around these months in the garden, and we're preparing for winter. So we're lucky that the temperature haven't been under 0 degrees Celsius yet, so we have still some time to collect and harvest things in the fields and the greenhouse. But soon as the temperature go below 0, a lot of things die, and the flowers especially, they cannot stand under 0 degrees. So I try to be in the now as much as possible and take care of everything there is right now. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching. Seeing you next time. Bye bye.